So last year I read Epictetus' Discourse and Selective Writing. I was very critical of Stoicism, and I don't like Stoicism. Personally, I don't. And Epictetus and that book as well. But there is one thing stood out to me, that Epictetus says one way or another we are all slave to something, right? He says it's regardless of your social status, or regardless you are a literal slave or you are not a slave, we are all slave to something. That might be true, but some slaves are better than other slaves. Let's suppose Jeff Bezos, for example. He might be slave to his money and his private jet. It's certainly better than the slave who work in the plantation, or it's certainly better than the slave who work in the Amazon. That's out of the way. So let me make something clear. Sponsorship, right? Sponsorship is not slavery. Those of you who might be watching from United States may have a different idea of sponsorship. Sponsorship is which many countries, let's suppose Middle East or United States or any countries with money. I'm not talking about the money for all the people, okay? I'm talking about those who hold the money, right? Big corporations. They export people from third world countries with sponsorship. By doing that, they exploit the third world people, and they make sure that their own citizens don't get the job, because if you hire people from the United States, you have to pay them more because the minimum wage, right? Legally, you are responsible for paying country-owned citizen more than third world cheap laborers, right? That's where I come in. I'm a third world cheap laborer who work in Middle East. So what is a slave, right? What is a slave, right? Or rather, who is a slave? So I checked this on Cambridge Dictionary. So let me tell you, a person legally owned by someone else and has to work for that person. According to Cambridge Dictionary, a slave is a person legally owned by someone else, or in my case, a company, or in many third world cheap, this shitty country slaves, right? Owned by a company, has to work for that person. Okay, according to Cambridge Dictionary, it's not my own thoughts. So I do get paid, right? I'm not like a slave in back in the day. I do get paid. I do get paid, which is reasonably, it's fine. However, I am legally owned by a company. They take necessary steps to prevent me from leaving the company or whatever until I finish my contract, of the modern day slave contract, right? Even if I want to finish the contract, I have to give a notice 2 months before. I have to wait, all this stuff. Even after I finish the contract, I have to wait until my masters free me. Oh yes, master, please free me. Okay, that's how it was, how it worked until today. So let me tell you, okay? In order to make this video, I did some research. Minimum wage in United States, I checked in United States because it turns out most of the people who watch my video are from United States, right? So minimum wage is in United States is 7.25 or 7, let's call 7 per hour. Okay, minimum wage is $7 per hour. And let's suppose I am a United States citizen who work minimum wage job, getting minimum wage pay, which if I work every day 8 hours per day and work 26 days and get 4 weekly off, I would have around $1,508, right? So $1,508 my monthly income would be, right? Which if I do a minimum wage job. Now you guys understand why all these illegal aliens wants to come to United States and want to run away from these city places, because it's the pay is good. I understand there is some fucking people come there and doing selling drugs and do all sort of bad things. The people, it's when you have nowhere to run, it's like, especially for Mexican, they have nowhere to go. Okay, that's why they go for United States. I'm not making a point for illegal immigration. I strongly believe there should be legal immigration. There should be. I strongly believe a country should prioritize its own citizen rather than immigrants. Okay, I strongly believe that, and I think that only makes sense. So right now, my income is $532, and I'm not working in United States. I work in Middle East, which is below minimum wage, right? It's below minimum wage. It's like very, very low. It's hugely low. And I am a manager in a restaurant. So a manager in a restaurant getting minimum wage. And you know, you can say yes. Well, yes, of course, because if you are an American, you have to pay taxes. There are lots of taxes for American citizens. There is social security. There is no health care, all this stuff. It's understandable, right? Which is makes sense. And so I'm getting $532 per month. And this amount of salary I get while working in Middle East. So where I'm originally from, born and raised in Sri Lanka, minimum wage is $95. So compared to $95, the one I get in Middle East minimum wage, it's you know, it's like day and night. That's why most people who are from India or Sri Lanka or Nepal or Philippines, they become expat, or they become cheap labor. These are cheap labor. Why? Because this shitty country, it's guys, I don't understand. These countries are bad to live, okay? Nobody wants to live there. I know these fucking influencers going, oh, look at this beautiful country. It fucking sucks living in a third world country, okay? That's why most of the people want to go to somewhere else, okay? I really don't want to talk about immigration. Maybe I might do a video about it later. I myself came to Middle East legally because the pay is good. But, so, technically I am a slave, right? And today I'm not going to talk about slavery or modern day slavery, none of that. I just want to give you an example where I'm coming from. And I'm not talking about Friedrich Nietzsche slave morality. I'm talking about different kind of slave morality. It's not about Friedrich Nietzsche slave morality. I like Friedrich Nietzsche. There are some things he's good with, some things he have like a really bad takes on it. Okay, I like him. So as I see, the way I see it, to slave morality, first of all, I don't think when Friedrich Nietzsche said Christianity gives slave morality, that's utter nonsense, okay? Christianity has warriors. They did crusade. There are lots of things. Christianity had warriors, like they conquered, and so you cannot really call Christianity has slave morality. Christianity gives slave morality, maybe after Old Testament, but still, Christianity had warriors, they had crusade, they were ready to die and all that thing, right? As an atheist, I'm saying that, okay? I could have gone religion, but still, Nietzsche was wrong about that. At least for my cheap third world shitty country labor's brain, okay? So as I see, when it comes down to slave morality, there are three types of morality. The first one is the people who accept their slave status. The people who accept their slave status. They will be like, okay, you know what, I'm at the end of the day, this is what I am, this is who I am, I will make bunch of kids, maybe they will make money for me, you know, I will make 10 kids. So these are the worst type of slaves. Okay, the second type is the people who just give up. Second type of morality I can understand. This is by the way, I'm not only talking about the cheap third world cheap laborers. Okay, I'm talking about everyone in general. Okay, the second type is you had just enough and you just give up. Okay, how you give up, it's for your interpretation. The people who give up, I can understand their perspective. I can understand their perspective, which I do. Okay, when you want to give up, you just give up. The third one is someone who just want to overcome their slave status. They want to be someone or something. They want at least to be free, right? So there are three types of moralities. One is the person who accepts he or she is a slave and continue to be a slave. The second one, the person who will see no way out. The only way out is giving up, going to Valhalla, which, all the respect to you, my friend, I don't condone it, but I can understand it. The third one is who just want to overcome their slave status. They want not necessarily to become a master, just to not be a slave. Okay, why I'm talking about these three morality? So as I said, I am a third world cheap labor who work in Middle East as a manager in a restaurant. So there is another guy who came from same country as me, same skin color, same everything. So I told him my contract is about to be finished. I'm leaving. You know what he said? He said, "Oh, you're leaving. Why you're leaving? You know, you will go there. Whatever you save your money, it will be finished." This is the textbook slave who admit and will continue to live on his life as a slave. I might not be succeeded. Okay, I might not have a great success, but at least I will be free. Like, you know, I rather go hungry than be a slave. Okay, like this is why I like this Greek philosophy and philosophy. You know, I rather stand on my feet and die than be on my knee and live the rest of my life hating my life, hating my skin, hate where I'm from. I don't want that. Okay, I rather stay hungry. I rather go hungry. I rather lose fucking 20 kgs. I rather be skinny. You know, it's baffling to me. You know, I might not succeed, yes, but I want to leave. I want to leave the slavery. You know, that, see, this is the thing. Like, once you brainwash people into thinking they are slave, this is no way out, that they will accept it. I seen many people doing less than minimum wage job for more than 20 years. Believe me. Okay, it's, see, these fucking people have the audacity to go to a, like, let's suppose a fucking Indian goes to UK. They say, how great is India? If it is so great, why the fuck you want to leave the country? Like, if it's so great, why don't you stay in your country? You fucking people, you go to these countries and you all about patriotism. Just because you were born in a shitty fucking place that you have to go outside your country, make money, all of a sudden you are a fucking patriot. Boo-hoo. It's baffling to me. Anyway, so I have exactly 1 month and 15 days to finish my slave contract. Well, let's see. I'm leaving either way. By a plane or by a fucking coffin. Either way, I'm fucking leaving.